video cameras, and closed captioning is also available. So to reiterate, our vision is to educate, engage, and empower students and alumni for career opportunities in a transforming global workforce. Let's go to the next slide, please. So what is the purpose of a career center on a college campus? We'll highlight some of the things that are really unique to Queens College Career Center. One is that we offer a World of Work course, which you can get for academic credit. It's for 1, 2, or 3 credits. And that course deals with career preparation and helping you navigate career pathways, networking, and researching career professions. You also learn how to interview with confidence for the World of World workshop. As a matter of fact, Liz is teaching a class this semester, and we offer courses in summer session 1 and also summer session 2. So if you need a free elective course, take that time to really think about how you could take this course and develop your career readiness skills. We offer one-to-one career coaching appointments with any of our career educators, and you can schedule an appointment on QC Navigate. Most appointments are 30 minutes. An exception is when you're practicing for a mock interview where we need to meet with you for an hour. And during the career coaching appointments, we help you create your career action plan. We help you look at what your interests are, your values, and match it to potential careers. We also assist students with coming up with a job and internship strategies during your one-to-one career coaching appointments. We have workshops. We had, like last year, over 70 workshops that we offered students on career planning and career preparation. And we're very innovative. So some of our workshops are remote, some are on campus, and some are hybrid. So just to meet the different learning style of our students and our population. So some workshops that we have every month, we have the Build and Update Your Resume workshop, which we offer twice a month. We just had one last week. And this week we're having the interview workshop, which is usually on Fridays from 12 to 1:30. So if you're going on an interview or you want to just prepare for an interview, please attend the Get Hired interview workshop. If you already have a resume and it just needs fine-tuning, please attend the Build and Update Your Resume workshop. You get hands-on experience from our career educators to edit your resume and walk away with a updated document so that you can apply for opportunities. Our center, of course, assists students with the job and internship search strategies. We have career fairs each semester where students get to meet with employers who want to hire Queens College talent. So make sure that you come to those career fairs. And part of coming to those career fairs is that you also want to prepare before the event. So just even researching the companies, the departments, what type of opportunities they have, and then you're able to network with recruiters and alumni who work at these organizations. We also help students figure out your career pathway. At Queens, there are 80+ majors, right? And as Liz mentioned earlier, hey, you may have at the most like 12 careers in your 12 jobs. Jobs are different than careers, right? But we can help you figure out like what career pathway to take, where should you do an internship to figure out if this is something you're interested in, a particular profession. In addition to doing an internship, what are like entry-level jobs in different professions? So anything from business to accounting, to science, to healthcare, to maybe you want to go into media, work in production. We help you explore those career pathways and help you get the skills that you need so that you're confident in that field. We also have a stipend, which is another unique thing with our Career Center. We realize that many of our students work, the majority of our students work part-time, and not necessarily in fields that are related to your career. So we offer an internship stipend that's $2,550 for completing 150 hours of internships. So that could be anytime throughout the year. And it's a great opportunity. Application for that is on our website. It's called the Internship Stipend Fund. And you can get an employee, and not an employee, excuse me, a faculty member or a staff member at Queens to recommend you so that you can fill out the application and get that internship stipend. So you can supplement your income with a stipend doing an internship in a field that you're interested in as a potential career. One thing that we also do is help you build your social capital by connecting you with alumni and employers so that you're developing your social capital and going to networking events with employers. We do have company visits where we take students to visit employers. And so we've done that in the last year, partnering with other departments on campus. We collaborate with student clubs. Many employers, they want to tap into the leadership in student clubs, the fact that you work as a team, the fact that you may be planning an event, doing project management. So we're here really to support and collaborate with student clubs in addition to faculty. So that's it in a nutshell. So think of us as the Amazon from A through Z, anything you need with career development. The Center for Career Engagement and Internships is here to support you, guide you, empower you, and get you to pursue your career aspirations or achieve your career aspirations. Thank you. Let's go to the next slide. I'll turn it over to Eleanor to discuss employer partnership.
Yeah, so we have a large list of employer partnerships that we work with and that are eager to hire our QC students because of the diverse talent we have. This is not the whole list. The list, it's much longer, so to say. So we work with a wide variety of employers. You're more than welcome to check them out on HireQC. If you ever, we're going to go a little later and we'll show you how to log in and how to be able to see the jobs and so on. Next slide, please.
Okay, so HireQC is our system that we use to post all of the incoming opportunities. That could be a part-time job, a full-time job, an internship. But when you go onto our website, you'll see on the left-hand side, student/alumni. And Maria, the next slide, please. All students have access to this. We do a data dump every fall and spring and summer working with our technology group. On the left-hand side, you'll see username and password. If you are a student after 2015, you're going to log in with your CAMS account information. If you are stuck on this, you could always reach out to our department email, QC_career, or contact Dan Ma. And he can support you, but it's your CAMS account information and every student will have access to this. If you're an alum prior to 2015, you would then use the sign up button and sign up for that. Next slide. Okay, so when you log into HireQC, on the left-hand side, you'll see the home button, you'll see jobs. When you click on jobs, you'll be able to search by part-time, full-time, internship. The most important piece of this system is updating your information in your profile. So we do a data dump from technology. And what I noticed is some students, when they apply to Queens College, they maybe have their high school email or an older email that is no longer in use. So please take control of this, I'll say, because when we do look for students, if we have an employer on one of the previous slides, call and say, we need somebody that speaks this language with this major, we can do a search on the back end and target the students that meet those academic and personal requirements. But if you don't look into the system and see what is in here, the system isn't going to work to your advantage and it'll fail you. So please make sure, go in and update your email, your cell phone, and your month and year of graduation. It's not something that's static, something that you can go in and do. Your documents, you'll also be able to upload multiple versions of your resume. The one thing I will let you know is in this system on the back end, we will have the first time you upload your resume, the ability to approve or decline your resume. Your resume is your marketing tool. So I always say in 20 seconds or less, that is what an employer is looking at. So if we see any typing, spelling, formatting issues, or if we feel that you're graduating and it should be much stronger, we're going to do our due diligence and write a note back and say, great start, but here's an example, please follow through. Remember that in the end, that is your marketing tool. You'll also see an events tab. So anything that we have going on, Dan will also put that in the events tab. And so the list goes on and on. It's pretty user friendly, but this is a snapshot of what you would see when you log in. Next slide, Maria. Okay, Karen, I'm going to hand the slide over to you.
Thank you, Liz. Upcoming events. Okay, so most of our upcoming events you can find if you navigate to our website. Maybe someone will drop that in the chat for you for easy access. You'll be able to scroll and see the section on a 10-day workshop. Usually there, most of our more current upcoming events will be posted and you're able to click on and read more about that event and register right away right on our site. We also share this on HireQC by sending out an email, and it's also posted under upcoming events there, so you can always check there as well. So some of the upcoming events, I think Zabby mentioned, we have the resume workshop coming up. Is that next Friday from 12 to 1:30 p.m. It's virtual. Get Hired interview workshop, that's the following Friday. And an upcoming information session, these are folks who are interested in a tech career, particularly in AI, artificial intelligence, or I think they're also be touching on software engineer, if I'm not mistaken. This is Breakthrough Tech, and they're doing a virtual info session on the 22nd, week after next Wednesday. And this is particularly for those who identify as female and trying to bring more awareness for women in tech. PKF info session on the 27th, and we have another event coming up on March 1st, all in 3 hours. And you can again see this in and there you go, actually register there. That's the link right below where you can access the registration information. Next slide. Oh, and this is a big one to start preparing for. Next month in March, we'll have our annual career fair. This is actually going to be both a virtual date for the 17th, 11 to 1 p.m. and an in-person event on the 22nd. All the registration information is right there. As you can see, you have the QR code for easy access. This is also posted on HireQC right now. I think soon it will be available on our website to register. And of course, we'll be sending out marketing information about that. So check your email, your QC email, once we announce more details about this event and the employers that we're expecting. Yeah, this is coming up soon, I believe, starting as soon as next week. Is this week actually, the 8th? Is that starting today?
Yes, tonight.
Yeah.
This is a
Okay,
great
so
event
starting
tonight.
as soon as today, our colleague that we introduced earlier on the slide, a part-time colleague, Jerry, she will be conducting a series of workshops catering to business, accounting, economics, and finance students. This is a great way to, especially if you're planning to be in this sector, to learn more about how to launch your career, how to get ready to meet with employers, get your resume ready, figure out your niche in this particular sector. So she'll be doing a series of workshops. Details are right here about those. Also, this, I believe, is on our website or on HireQC, how you can register. This is in person, so be mindful of that in the evening, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And as Zabby mentioned earlier, some of our events are solely in person, some are hybrid, or some are solely virtual. So this particular one is an in-person series of workshops. Next slide. Okay.
Okay, we have Luke Marest with us, who is going to talk about the Blackstone Launchpad. So Luke, I'll give this slide to you.
So I don't know if you know, but Blackstone is a very famous investment firm. They have tons of money, huge amount of money. And they created a foundation that helps students to develop entrepreneurial skills. So it's called Blackstone Launchpad. So we started to implement that program for the last 2 years now. And it is a very, very good program to help you to develop some skills. So there are very good workshops, boot camps. We have also speaker series that all talk about entrepreneurial spirit. And when we mean about entrepreneurial spirit, it's not just to start a business, to have a startup, but in reality, you will discover that when you work in a big firm, then you will be required actually to be a kind of entrepreneurs, because big firms also have to adjust, to innovate, to change their production system, change their products, etc. So we have very, very good program. And Xavi, I think, just posted the website we have. We have also another website called Startup Tree that I advise you to log in into Startup Tree, because you will be updated with all the different programs they have. They have a lot of different programs. Now, what we created this semester, like every semester, we created some what we call pitch competition. So what does it mean? It means we advise you, we mentor you, and we help you to develop an idea. So I don't know, you want to create a French pastry in Flushing, all right? Or you want to create a new kind of newspaper, whatever it is, we are thinking with you how to think about what kind of consumers you can target, what kind of strategy you can adopt, what kind of product you need to develop to do that, what kind of financial aspect you will have to deal with. So it's as if you do your startup, your own business. It's a very interesting and very rewarding process. And in addition to that, you will develop some network, because you will work also with other elements of Blackstone Launchpad. So I advise you to go to these websites. And anyway, I will send some emails, so general emails, to tell you about the activities we have. So at least you know that when you see Blackstone Launchpad, you know what it is about. Anyway, if you are more interested in knowing about that, I'm always available. You can email me, or you can come to see me at my office. My email is lucmarest@qc.cuny.edu. And my office is at PH 306H. We provide some cash prize for the pitch competition, so it's always good to have some. And hopefully I will see you soon. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Luke. I can't say enough great things about Blackstone. It's really a life-changing program that if you do put in the effort and the time, it will change the trajectory of your career. It really is that great of a program. So thank you, Luke, for joining us. Maria, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so I also wanted to let you know today that how do you access our services? So you can, find us on EAB Navigate on the right side of the screen. If you would like to make an appointment, sometimes we get a lot of emails, but we have appointments out there. So when you go into advising the Career Center, you'll see who has availability. And you can find us on EAB Navigate to make appointments with our team. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll also be able to see, how you access our events and so forth. They're all on HireQC. They're on our website. So we just wanted to make it transparent that if you navigate through our website, go on HireQC, make an appointment on Navigate, we are accessible. Next slide. Okay, so I wanted to start the student panel now. We have 3 students that we're going to introduce. We have Joey Lau, Genesis Santos, and Miles Jackson joining us. Joey, I guess I'll start with you at first. I just wanted to ask you, Joe, if you could share with the students what your major is and when you're graduating from Queens College and what your goal is post-graduation.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I'm so glad that everyone is here today, although I see many black boxes, but I'm glad I see so many of you here today. So hi, my name is Joey Lau, and I graduated from undergraduate in Queens College back in fall of 2021, double majoring in communication sciences and disorder and psychology. And I'm currently a graduate student studying speech and language pathology at Queens College. And I'm now currently in Queens College in a cubicle here. So a little bit about my background. Back when I was in undergrad, I worked part-time on campus a lot. So I was very involved with the Career Center, and I worked multiple jobs and positions in the Career Center. So I was an internship stipend recipient back in 2020 or 2019. I can't really remember the exact year. And I also worked as a career peer in the Career Center in the marketing department. So what I did for the department was I kind of made videos and also made digital flyers for them to share to the students. And lastly, I worked as a Grow with Google ambassador in 2022. So in that, I advertised the learning platforms to students and also instructors. So all that being said, all this different working experience that I had really enriched my college life, because I believe that like grades are just one part of the picture. It's like one small piece in like 1,000 pieces puzzle. I always thought that grades define me, but it doesn't, because I need to learn so many other skills in life, like people skills, life skills. And I realized that as soon as I start working and gaining all those experience, I really was able to grow in all those areas of my life and learn all these different skills like networking, how to talk to people, how to have effective communication, how to be proactive and manage up, which is like telling your manager what you're up to instead of them having to ask you all the time. And all this I learned through my experience, which cannot be studied in books, because books can only teach you so much, right? Like book knowledge and all this studying skills, but like it's different from life skills where you have to learn by just doing. And so these are all very important in my next phase of life when I start working. And all these jobs and also studying at the same time also taught me how to have effective time management skills. And all this experience, I have the opportunity to connect and also work with so many amazing people, like the staff at the Career Center. They're really amazing. They're very passionate about their job, and they also really want to help students like all of us, all of you. And so advice that I have for every one of you here is to never be afraid to ask questions and never be afraid to reach out for help, because the Career Center and the staff there is here for you. They are here to help the students. And if you need any help with your resume, or if you are just scared of your next steps and you just want to talk to someone, the doors are always open for you. Because I remember when I was in that position, I didn't know how to hold my resume, and I was kind of afraid to make an appointment, but I just did it anyway. And it was a very good decision on my end, because I realized that, oh, they're not judging me. No one is judging you for your bad resume, because I had a very terrible resume. And so I went there and they gave me a lot of good advice, how to hold my resumes and also how to improve it by giving me a lot of resources. And so, yes, I believe that the key is to ask for help and to not be intimidated by anyone. And also, one more key point I want to make is to never be afraid to try to apply for anything, because if you see something that interests you, just apply anyway, even if you think that you might get rejected, but that's okay, because at least you tried. So for me, my experience was for the internship stipend experience. I saw the opening and I'm like, that sounds like a really good experience, but I'm not sure if I'll get it, but whatever, I'll just try anyway. So I just applied for it. And then my mentality was like, whatever, it's okay if I don't get it, at least I tried. So remember that if you try, you have at least a chance of getting it, but then if you don't try at all, then you have no chance, right? So always shoot your shot and try it out. And yeah, I know overall it can be very intimidating to ask for help, but don't be afraid because we are all humans and the staff at the Career Center are all humans and we are all for you. So you are never alone in this. So I look forward to all your experience in college. I hope that you have a great experience overall. Yeah, thank you.
Great advice, Joey. I have to say, I'm very proud of all the growth that you've had over the last few years. You came to us before COVID, you worked through that transition remotely. And I think you have presented wonderful advice. And I agree, a lot of students are nervous and anxious and don't know what to ask, but we've been doing this for so long that just leave it up to us. We'll ask the right questions to kind of get you back on track. So thank you, Joey, for everything. You know, I'm going
Thank
to
you so
call
much for
Miles.
having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Always nice to see you, Joey. I'm going to ask Miles to speak next because I know you're on a tight schedule today. So Miles, and then we'll go to Genesis. So Miles, if you could just come on screen, introduce yourself, tell everybody what your major is, your graduation date, and your dreams after Queens College, and how we hopefully influenced you in a positive way.
All right, hi everyone. So my name is Miles Jackson. Sorry for being late. I just came from another meeting. And I'm an international student, and my major is photography and imaging. I minor in media studies. My expected graduation is this spring. And honestly, I'm at a position right now where I have a lot of options. I'm still wondering if I need to go to, if I would like to go to grad school immediately right after. I'm in the process of finding universities and colleges to go where my major will be of use. Honestly, the Center for Career Engagement and Internships has been incredibly helpful for me. As Joey also mentioned, one thing you have to take into consideration is always don't be afraid to ask. Because obviously empty hands, or like hands that don't try to get, you're not gonna get anything if you don't try. My plans for after graduation is either going to grad school or continuing working, but the Center for Career Engagement has been really helpful for me to begin with, because I came here as a student athlete majoring in biology, and this center was able to, Zavi Goon, who I usually communicated with most of the time, they were able to show me other career opportunities that I could have been interested in. Because of being a freshman, sometimes you never know what you want to do. You're just like in this pond of like with a bunch of fishes, and you're swimming around and you have no direction. They definitely provide a source of direction, a source of guidance, and it's been incredibly helpful. Because of that, I've been able to realize that I wasn't sure if biology was one that I wanted to do, but I ended up switching my major to photography and imaging. And before the pandemic, even during the pandemic, the Center for Career Engagement was probably the most helpful for me during that time of, people were being laid off from jobs, people were, we were all going through so much during that time. And because of that, I was able to find a job through CUNY Service Corps at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum. And after that moment, before that moment, I also realized that I wanted to be into photography, and they were able to guide me in terms of, like I've spoken to Bloomberg, I've spoken to Blackstone. There's always so many workshops that are happening on and on every time. And sometimes it's just you being, looking at your email, physically going into Freeze Hall to speak with them, or sending out an email, just communicating, because as an international student, I can honestly tell you it is incredibly hard to find a job. It might be a little bit easier to do it on campus, but to find a job off campus where you may need experience in your field, it is incredibly difficult. And the Center for Career Engagement and Internships has guided me through that process. And it has been, I honestly would say I am 100% grateful. So that has been my experience.
Thank you, Miles. I like hearing what you have to say. I actually saw a photography student yesterday, so I said, maybe I'll have to set that student up with Miles so you can mentor them. Great stuff. Thank you for sharing. And Genesis, we're going to now have you come on screen. And if you could just introduce yourself with your month and year of graduation and tell us what you're going to be doing. I know we had a great turnout for an event that you supported Eleanor with recently. So you probably have a lot of great things to say coming from that event as well.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be able to meet you all. And I've probably met some of you either on campus or in my previous Zoom meeting. But I have so many great things to say about the Career Center, so I'll try to encompass it as quickly as possible so I can give you guys some time to ask any of us some questions. But my name is Genesis Santos, and I am a current second semester senior here at Queens College with an expected graduation date of May 2023. I actually took my senior portraits today, so that was really exciting. And I'm majoring in economics and finance. And I'm actually a transfer student from Baruch, but I took a big gap year in my academic career because I didn't really believe a degree was needed. In my previous work experience, I was actually an account executive for Estee Lauder companies, and I saw myself retiring with them. I saw myself not needing a degree. And then 2020 happened, and then that market became so volatile that I ended up getting laid off. And still, school wasn't in the picture yet. And I applied to so many jobs thinking that I could get a position right away, not knowing that because I was out of the workforce for so many years, my resume was atrocious. It probably failed every applicant tracking system back then that it went through. And I got like almost 200 rejection letters before I decided to enroll in Queens College 2 years ago. So I said, okay, I need a bridge. I need a bridge to help me close the gap between my previous work experience and finance, which was, I didn't want to be in retail anymore. I wanted to work in finance. And I registered, I got accepted, started fall 2021, super excited. I was applying, trying to get all the courses ready for applying for the business program here at Queens College. And my plan was to just get my degree and then call it a day, and then I'll figure something out. I'll either start applying again. Once I have the degree, like I should be good. And 2 semesters passed. So fall 2021 passed, spring 2022 passed, and then summer came along. And I was, trying to stay on track to graduate. So I was taking summer courses, and then Eleanor sends me an email. Well, she sent it to many students, but that was like my first kind of like contact with the Career Center, because I get this email and it's to attend a networking event for a bank called Truist. They were going to be visiting Queens College in July, and they were going to be talking about some full-time programs available and internships available for Queens College students. And then like a light bulb went off in my head, and I said, you know what, like, let me try, let me just try to go and see what happens. I had never attended a networking event before in my life. That was my first networking event. I was in contact with Eleanor, and she helped me so much with my resume. My resume was a mess before Eleanor helped me organize it and make it very applicable for the industries and jobs that I wanted to be in. I had no idea all the work that it actually takes for you to be able to apply and interview and kind of get the ball rolling. But if you never reach out, like Joey and Miles voiced, you're never gonna get anything from it. And then I attended the networking event, and then that kind of just like got my wheels turning. And I said, that event went great, but things were still up in the air, and I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So I just kept attending so many networking events. I made my Hire QC profile. I was applying through jobs from there. I was attending as many networking events as I could. I joined Alpha, which is the Association for Latino Professionals of America, great organization. I also was able to attend some networking events from that end. And I just used the experience that the Career Center gave me. I used the tools that they provided me with, and I started applying everywhere. And my resumes were getting looked at. I had interviews lined up. They helped me with interview prep. It was great. And on the other side of it, post-graduation, yes, Eleanor, Alpha is open to all majors. It's an incredible organization. They have great connections, especially in the finance industry, if you're interested. And then I was able to, receive a lot of job offers from Truist, JP Morgan, Bank of America, American Express, and it was all because of the time and effort that I put in making the connections with the Career Center. Because one of the things that I will tell all of you freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors is the resources that this university has to obtain jobs, it's invaluable. It's a vast ocean of opportunities and assistance. It's constructive criticism. It's making you feel uncomfortable so you learn and get yourself out there. And it's only going to make you a better person on the other side of it. So I am immensely grateful, because my life is going to change post-graduation, because like I could start crying, but I'm not. I'm like really trying to hold my tears back. I have a 2-year-old son, and if it weren't for Eleanor in the Career Center, I wouldn't have obtained my job offer with Truist at the end of my graduation. And I think for all of us, we all have dreams, we all have aspirations. I think just taking the step for us to reach out to them, they're here waiting to help everyone. So I really, really want to make sure that everyone takes advantage of it, and that after this meeting, they are so busy with appointments that they don't know what to do with themselves, because it truly is an invaluable resource. And I'm so incredibly grateful for every single person that works in this office.
Thank you, Genesis. That's very heartfelt, and it's greatly appreciated. Career development is a process, right? It's something that it's career counseling is personal counseling, and you went through all of those rejections to learn a lot, and you're going to be able to pass your knowledge along to others. And just like Charles Swarens is an alum through Truist that came back to hire you, I know you're going to be able to be the same kind of connector as Charles is, a wonderful champion of our students, and to hire them in your role going forward. So thank you, Joey, Genesis, and Miles. I think the big takeaway is you have to be in it to win it, right? If we don't know who you are, if employers don't know who you are, you're not going to have that opportunity. But please note that this is the process. It's the resume, it's the cover letters, the interview skills. And I will say that the 3 students that are on this panel definitely invested in themselves and learned outside of the classroom. As Joey said, it's not always taught in the classroom. Sometimes you have to, make an appointment, and we'll guide you down this road. We have a few minutes left for any questions. So if anybody would like to raise their hands or put in the chat a question, we have about 5-10 minutes before we have to, sign out. So does anybody have any questions for our panelists today or for the center staff? Okay. Ava, if you want to come on screen or ask a question.
Yeah, so as for in the beginning, when you guys were talking about the CORP program, I've recently just graduated like December. It's kind of late, but is it possible for me just to apply for the CORP program or no?
That is for current students. So the core programs are for current college students, yes. So, if you have graduated, you should probably connect with the office. You're not on Navigate anymore. And you can send an email to the QC_career. And what's your major?
Psychology.
Okay, so you can send an email to QC_career, and then we'll schedule a personal appointment. Alum have 1 year post-graduation, but at this point, once you have your degree, we're big champions of going out there, getting full-time roles with benefits, 401ks, medical, dental, and it all comes down to getting that resume and cover letter and interview skills under wrap to know what your value is in the world of work. So send an email and we'll address it and get you scheduled in the next few days, okay?
Okay, also I have like a couple questions, but like The other question is about the career fair. Do you guys know who is attending that fair, as in the panelists yet, or
We're
no?
currently enrolling employers, so that will all be transparent and be posted on our site. So you'll have access to that on our website.
Okay, for Blackstone, I'm very interested for 2 reasons. Entrepreneurially, my whole family's been an entrepreneur, so I kind of want to build my own business. But then you said, so for the Blackstone, is it possible for me to find a job and have for 2 things? One, find a job, like create training, have training for myself to build my skills to get a better job, or is Blackstone just for creating, like for creating a small business?
Blackstone is an entrepreneurial program and competitions. I mean, there are training components, but Zavi, is that for alum or for current students only?
It's for current students. The
Yeah.
Black.
So Eva, I think if you sent an email, a lot of the questions can be answered in a one-on-one for you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking. Anybody else have any questions for us or for any of our panelists? No? Okay, so I think we're at the 1 hour mark, and I don't see any more questions in the chat. We're just getting a lot of great feedback that the panelists were very helpful and inspiring. And trust me, we've all been there. We remember what it's like to be a college student. As Miles said, you want to change your major, you're not sure where you are, you're in a fish of a sea of people. I remember who's going to hire me and how am I going to get experience if you won't hire me and give me experience, right? But as Joey referenced, somebody will always take a chance. Don't you decide. Let the employer say, oh, we didn't have anybody that applied that was good, so maybe we'll take this recent grad. Let the person on the other end reviewing your resume make that decision. So it's all about having a positive mindset, right? And marketing your skills and abilities through your resume, your cover letter, and through your interview skills. But we're here because a lot of times you look at your document and you might get great feedback, but I always say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? So long story short, always remember the key piece of advice I give to all my students is it matters what that job description says. Match your resume and your cover letter to the job description. We all have a lot of skills and experience, but the best piece of advice is really read that job posting and say, does my resume fit their needs? If not, maybe you have to change the words around a little bit, but come in sooner rather than later so that it's not post-graduation. You know, come while you're here. It's included in the student fees. We're here. Find us on EAB. We're going to be moving now at 1 o'clock. If anybody wants to come meet us in person, a few of my colleagues have gone over and transitioned to the cafeteria. But without anything else, Zavi, is there anything else you want to say before we close down the event?
Just want to say thank you, Liz, for organizing this event, and thank you to the students for participating and our other colleagues here from the center joining the presentation. So we're really here to support you. We look forward to working with you. Have a great week.
Yep.
See you
Thanks
soon.
for joining, everyone. Enjoy the beautiful weather this week. Bye.